When it comes to being more persuasive, appealing to human psychology and social dynamics are two of the best weapons you can have in your arsenal. And so when I talk about that, what I mean is this. There are three things that you can do that can immediately help you be more persuasive. The first one has to do with human psychology. And it's this idea that you want to appeal to people's idea of commitment and consistency. So generally speaking, most people like to be consistent in what they say, in what they believe, and in their behaviors or what they do, right? And when there's a disconnect between those things, people usually experience something called cognitive dissonance, which is like this uneasy feeling that we experience when we do something that is not in alignment with what our beliefs are or what we've stated our beliefs are, or if we've stated and committed to doing something different. So if we're one of these people that preaches about going to church all the time, let's just say that, right? And we preach about how the fact that you got to go to church every Sunday and you got to pray every day and you got to study the Bible, but then you don't actually do those things, right? There's going to be a part of you inside that is going to feel uneasy about that, right? And even the most seasoned liars and manipulators experience this feeling. It's just that those people, they know how to deal with it. They have methods and devices to overcome that uneasiness, and we'll get into that, but there are ways that they use to rationalize their behavior. But most people are going to experience this sense of uneasiness. And so when you're trying to persuade somebody to do something, you want to know what that person's values, thoughts, and beliefs are as you're persuading them, because you don't ever want to present your thing in such a way that it counteracts those things or it's not in alignment with those things, because then it's going to be very, very, very difficult to persuade them to do something. The second thing that you want to do, if applicable, is you want to use scarcity, right? You want to use urgency. So in other words, the reality is that people find things more attractive as they become less available. That's just the reality of the situation, right? And so that's why, and the other thing is, if you don't give people a reason to act right now, in most cases, they will not act right now. So you have to create urgency and you have to create some sort of scarcity, whether that's limiting the time that they have to take advantage of what you're offering, giving them a limited time on the price, giving them a set window, or letting them know that you have a limited amount of quantity that you're offering, or just simply giving them a deadline. Just by saying, look, here's what I presented to you. It's a great deal. You understand all the benefits it's going to provide for you. And this is the deal that I can offer you if you're willing to do it right here and right now. Now, look, a lot of people get turned off by scarcity. They don't like to be pressured. But the reality is, if you do everything right before you get to the part where you introduce the scarcity, in other words, if you've qualified the person and you've had a conversation with them and you've presented everything to them in such a way that they understand that what you have to offer them is going to provide them more value than what they have to invest. Now, that investment could be time, money, energy, resources, whatever. But the trade-off, the value that they're going to get, is worth more than the investment. If you've done that correctly, the scarcity thing should not be an issue. Yeah, you're going to get some pushback from people, but it'll be much less than when you just present scarcity for the sake of presenting scarcity. So in other words, if I walk into a car dealership and the person walks and I say, look, I'm interested in buying this Mercedes. And the guy's like, here's what it's got, here's what it'll do for you, here's all the bells and whistles, the features. By the way, this is the deal if you buy it today. Without sitting down, without having a conversation, without asking me questions, without asking me what I'm looking for in a car, understanding my thoughts, my values, my beliefs, why I want the car, what I value in the car, the features that I want, the benefits that I want, and creating a connection with me before presenting the scarcity aspect, then of course I'm going to resist and I'm going to fight back. But if that person takes their time to understand me as a person and what I'm actually looking for, and then presents it makes a presentation in such a way where the amount of value that I'm getting is worth more than what I'm paying, the scarcity thing is just going to push me to the point where I'm going to want to make that decision today. The fact of the matter is that humans are procrastinators, right? And that's why that you have a deadline to pay your mortgage. You have a deadline to pay your credit card bill, right? It's because humans are procrastinators. And if you don't give them a reason to act right now, they will most likely act later, and you don't want that to happen. And then the third thing you want to do is you want to utilize any kind of social proof that you can when influencing or persuading others. So in other words, you want to show your client, customer, prospect, whatever it may be, that lots of other people have made a similar decision to the one you're asking them to make when they were in a similar situation. Because, once again, what do human beings do when we are unsure of what to think or what to do in a certain situation? We typically look to see what the majority of other people did in a similar situation. And so that's why you always want to utilize that to your advantage. So once again, apply to consistency, utilize scarcity, and always utilize social proof if you can. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment, give it a like, and if we're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and then hit that bell so you get notified when I upload more videos like this.